My mom actually struggled a lot. She gotten herself into debts. Imagine as a young kid, um, having to experience things like seeing some like loan sharks coming at home, threatening us. Like I'll take this TV. Much as age has been something that I've been getting a lot of opportunities from. It has been something that also got some of the doors shut. Like, nah, man, you're still young. Like, go to school or go do something. Like, you don't know what this entrepreneurship is. I've been getting such comments, and that somehow they can either break you or make you.
Hi everyone, welcome to Conversations with Miss T, and that is me. I had a conversation with Tshepiso. Tshepiso is a young man based in South Africa. He founded a gaming space called Gamers Territory. He also started his own organization that aims at reaching out to young people to motivate them, to encourage them, and to inspire them. He's a wonderful young man, and I really had an amazing time talking to him. Now, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that you enjoyed this conversation that I had with the Tshepiso. Cheers.
Course that I'm doing is called information systems, of which it's more of a combination of IT and entrepreneurship, which are the two things that I'm passionate about.
Yeah. What kind of games, what kind of games did you start playing when you were little? Because you're like the new
Um,
generation, right?
yeah, it was more of GTA, of which I wouldn't advise many kids to play that kind of game.
What is GTA?
It's called Grand Theft Auto. So it's more of it's a simulation of a game. It's a person driving cars, having houses, and through those kind of games, like you get to grow. Because like as a kid growing up in the townships, you're not exposed to places such as Sentin. You get to see them through the world has a lot of things that we need to explore. So yeah, it was more of Grand Theft Auto and also FIFA,
Yeah, I know
of which
FIFA.
it's yeah. Yeah, so even right now, yeah, that those are the most played games at the facility that we have. And yeah, right now we are actually venturing into the virtual reality space, the new kind of generation games. So
Mm.
yeah, since the world is evolving, we also need to keep on evolving.
Okay, so I know you founded Gamers Territory, right? Is that an
Yes.
actual space? Like you just said in our space. So is that an actual building where people can go and play games, like an arcade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Where is
the
it? Where is
most
it
first
and how
like
did it start?
yeah, it's actually in Ivory Park. I don't know how, like when last were you in SA?
In June 2021. And I'm from
Oh,
Ebuhle Park, just right near Jimiston.
oh, really? Wow. Must we both from the East End?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Gamers Territory it's situated in Tshepiso. So when actually started, I started it when it was 2018. I was doing grade 10 that time. So and also for me to actually be exposed to gaming, it was this other time I was visiting my cousins in Jimiston, Leondale.
Yeah.
My cousins my cousins stayed there, and when I got there, I found them, playing games and they were playing on an Xbox. And that time I didn't know an Xbox, I didn't know a PlayStation, and I just saw this magical thing, they were controlling and
Magical.
yeah. So, as and I think it's a situation with most people who are growing up in the townships. Whenever we see such, we just go crazy. And for me, that was more of a life-changing moment. because after there, I got to play and experience what they experience. And I remember grade 10 won a laptop at school. It was a school competition. And the first thing that I did with the laptop was I installed a game. You know, and with that very same laptop, that's where the idea of starting, because right now I was the only kid that had a laptop, in my neighborhood. And a lot of people wanted to play games, and I was like, what, let me just start a business. And that's how Gamers Territory actually was started. And it only started with only an idea and a laptop.
Mm.
And looking at where we are right now, it's really humbling. We are situated at Tembisa, and also we're about to launch our second facility in Alexander. So yeah, we've seen some growth over the past few years, even though there were challenges. But yeah, it's really we still at our humblest beginnings, but our goal is just to reach as many townships as we can. And we just want to create a facility whereby people, especially young people, kids, can just come and dream. Our motive is actually to encourage people to dream more. As they are playing FIFA, when they see that greatness Ronaldo has, they should see the greatness within themselves. Whenever they play with the virtual reality, because with the virtual reality, you can actually be in Dubai while you're in Tshepiso.
Right, right.
So we just want to, yeah, expand their mindsets,
Mhm.
and yeah, and also to expose them to esports, because esports right now it's actually considered a career, and also we're actually teaching them how to code, how can they create their own games, not just playing them. So yeah, there's really a lot that we have planned, and yeah.
Yeah. Wow, it sounds exciting and it sounds like you've done a lot. Now, I'm worried because for me, I see games as distraction, especially for people
Yeah,
who are still in school or people who have like
yeah,
a lot of responsibilities that they still need to attend to, like doing chores at home
yeah.
and stuff like that. And then to be so you're like, no, 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 like come over here. Let's make money over here in the gaming world. So I mean, especially the moms, have they not been on your case about that? Like, you know,
Um, uh, Actually, it has been more often opposite, because I get many parents encouraging us that we should keep going with what we're doing, because it's more of it's a distraction for them to be away from what is happening in the streets. Coming from a township like Chimbisa, young people are busy with drugs. They're busy with you know like for young, actually, like I realized that in the townships, young people do not have constructive kinds of entertainment.
Mhm.
That's why they now tend to go into drugs. That's why they, so now having to see them after school, we actually encourage them to do their homeworks before. We have built this relationship with them, and they can now tell us anything. It's just a space for them to just be free. So and also another thing with games, we do have some educational games
That's good.
which are more of problem solving. And it's actually been researched that games or what helps many kids to excel with like maths, science, and things that require problem solving. So yeah, and it's actually what we have been working on how can we now integrate both school and entertainment. We just want to make learning fun. That's why now also, as we're integrating coding into our facilities, we want to make it as fun as possible, because over the past few years, I also was part of some programs that were more on coding, but they were teaching us coding in a more professional way. And um, like it wasn't as efficient as it is right now, as we're teaching them coding for gaming.
Yeah.
So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, some moms have been, saying that their kids come back late. You know, so but it's more of how do we now make our facility a safe place for kids just to come and as we'll be growing, want to have a space whereby we can have where they can write homeworks, because as you've seen, I don't know if you know how Google headquarters are like, they're so free, you just want to create a safe environment for kids. You just want to have that vibe environment for them to just, do anything that they want rather than just going to streets and
Just yeah.
trying things like drugs and
Right, right, right. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And how has your family supported you through this journey?
My family, man, yeah, because my mom actually, she's also a hustler. you know, my mom is, yeah, she's one person who supports me, as even when I was starting, I remember, when I was doing, actually, everything started in grade 10, and when I was doing grade 10, that's where I was actually starting to attend, business seminars. And, I would ask mine and she would give me. And I remember this other time, like a ticket to enter to this other seminar, it was like 200. And I didn't think she would give me, but she actually, gave me. And yeah, she has been, even though she doesn't understand what I'm doing, because I'm
Yeah,
doing a lot of things. Sometimes I'm on magazines, sometimes but she's still like not getting it. Actually, what is it that you're busy with? But the support is there, the support is there because like they are my reason to actually keep going. I always emphasize the fact that you must find your why, then the how will introduce itself. So my why is my family, me having to take them out of the township, me having to make things better at home. That's actually my why, and I actually require their support for me to fulfill everything that I have to do. So their support has been it's
mm,
really amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice. And speaking of profound statements like your why will lead to a what, you are also a speaker, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, did that also start in grade 10?
Yeah. So so I actually interested that way, I was starting to become this ambitious person that I am. And most of the time I would find myself as like it seemed like I was crazy, because people that were around me, they were not as ambitious as I am, because I was now, being invited to these events that have high profile people. And still people around me, they were not um like they were not understanding me. So that's why I took the decision upon myself that let me be the one who actually changes my peers. How let me just change their mindsets. And that came about when I started the blog. I started a motivational blog whereby it's like more of a website, and I was writing
Mhm.
motivational insights,
What's
stuff
it
like that.
called?
And
What
it's
is the
called the Tshepiso Malema Initiative.
Oh, okay, okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it actually the initiative is now an organization actually. So when I started the blog, because at grade 10 I was doing computer applications technologies, which is a subject. It's more on technology, and they taught us how to make a blog. And I realized most young people, they are on their cell phones most of the time. Let me just write. I was more into writing. I would write. Then after writing and publish the blog, when like because the first blog that I've written, it actually reached like 500 people, and also the
Nice.
feedback that I was getting, and also it was more on more even international people from outside our country reading the blog, and that's why I saw a need to let me just now change the blog into an organization, and the
Um,
organization started.
I'm sorry
Yeah.
to cut you, but now I'm interested. I keep thinking, like, I want to know this. What was the first blog post about? What issue were you
Oh,
addressing?
um, yeah, the first blog post,
Mm,
it was how did I change my mind? The title was, oh no, 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 no. Okay, it was more on, who do you surround yourself with? Yeah.
mm,
So yeah, I'll just recite it. So I made an example about the people that we actually surrounding ourselves with, that they are shaping us, they are shaping where you go. That's the famous phrase that show me your friends, I'll show you your future. So I made an example that any number that is multiplied by zero, gives you zero. Any number, whether it's a million, whether it's 100, and even in life, no matter how influential you are, how big you are, how educated you are, but whenever you associate yourself with people who are like zero, they'll bring you down to nothing. And another example was like, okay, any number that is multiplied by one, um, it's that number, right? So even there are some people that we surround ourselves with, whenever you're surrounding yourself with them, you don't grow, you don't improve,
mm,
you don't grow, like you just remain the same.
mm.
So that like the reception I got from that blog post, even till this day, and I can tell you that I think 4 years back, and it's still making waves out there. So that's actually the blog that turned me into a speaker,
I like,
because
like as you're talking, I'm getting goosebumps because I totally get it. I like that that math analogy you just made.
yeah,
Anything multiplied by zero is zero, and then anything
yeah,
multiplied by one. Oh, like I get it, I get it. And so I'm thinking in my mind,
yeah.
anything multiplied by two, is an addition to itself. So if you
Yeah,
surround, yeah,
yeah.
if you surround yourself with at least two people who are going somewhere, then they will multiply your talents, and that's in one way or
Absolutely,
another.
absolutely,
Brilliant, Rob.
absolutely. Yeah. So
Okay, keep
yeah,
going.
and yeah, and that's how and also Clayton, that's why I started now investing in myself, and I would attend their seminars, and that's how I also got to grow, and surrounding myself with such people, and um also getting mentors. I got a mentor called Emmanuel Bonogo. He's been part of the Forbes 18 2019, and through him mentoring me, it actually it was more on it was really life changing, because having someone successful, someone who's been in the Forbes list, being your mentor, telling you, oh, okay, this is the right way of doing things. That also had much impact in my life, in like also where I am today and how I think. So yeah, I think if we
How does this mentorship thing work? So you meet up with somebody, and then what do you guys talk about? Like, how does it work? Is it like a friendship, or is it like a father-son relationship? How does that work?
Yeah, so we like how it actually made it work. It's actually more on. I didn't want to, because he's a busy man. People are busy, So you can't always be like, hey, okay, this is what I'm facing. Please tell me how can. So we actually, like, I think we meet like once or twice a year, So or rather maybe when we meet at an event, but most of the time it's more on like mentorship should be more on you having to see this the kind of lifestyle this person lives, their habits, you can be mentored by someone just by reading their books. You can be mentored by someone just by, listening to their podcasts, because that's where they actually, put it down. Okay, this is how I think, this is how my habits, because Visitor Member once said that you cannot copy your role models bank balance, but you can copy their habits. So me having to see like my mentors, statuses about their day. Okay, this guy, okay, he woke up at around 5. Then this is what he did. Then he went to gym. Then he went to a meeting. Like, how does this guy like manage everything? So that's how me having to see and also experience the other side of the world. Okay, this is how successful people live. This is what they do. This is um, they invest in themselves. They invest in their health. Then it also makes you, parallel to their lifestyle, even though maybe they are living that lifestyle in the in the townships, in the shacks, but the fact that you have a similar mindset to them, it means that you're going somewhere.
Okay, I get it because I think there's different ways to do this mentorship thing. And like you said, you can open it up to people who can actually speak life into your life without you physically interacting with them. So I like that. I like that. And I've said this before that the first person that I asked to mentor me actually said no. And that was very embarrassing. And I think from that time on, I never really asked anybody to mentor me, but I've had people that have poured it into my life one way or another. So I'm glad that you have somebody. With that said, do you mentor other people and how do you do it? And how do you, like, what is your selection process in mentoring people?
Yo, yeah, because like like even recently I've been approached by many people, and what I like is that they're not approaching me in a manner of, can you please mentor me? Because I also feel like I'm not there, I'm not yet there to be in a position where I'm like, this is my
Yeah.
mentee, but it's more of let's just let it be a fruitful relationship on both sides.
Yeah.
As I invest in you, also invest in me. Also with my mentor Emmanuel Nogode, I do add value into his life, so it's more on how do you add value to me as you approach me that okay, Tshepiso, I see you're into gaming, and this is the little knowledge that I know about gaming, and I think this is what you can do. And on my side, I want to do this, but I don't know where to start. And that's where, most people they just approach me in a way of, okay, I want to start this kind of initiative, but I don't know where to start. Then, because I know a lot of people, so I can maybe refer if I'm not in capabilities to help that particular person, that's where I can just refer. But always I make sure that I just, pour into, but and
Yeah.
even though most of the time it feels like I pour more and I'm not getting anything back, it's still fine because I know sometime I will actually get to, gain, out of, whatever that I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more, yeah, people do approach me, but I do not have, selection that okay, I think you need to do this. I just help wherever I can.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm hearing is if as an individual you want to approach somebody that you would
Yeah.
hope they would agree to being your mentor is you should come up with a suggestion or come up with a valid question. That is that is the way to start the conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more it should be you should know something about that person, an example, there was DJ Smooth,
Mhm.
because I read his books, I know, so when you approach, such people that, their life, you can just, go to Google and search about them. Even when I go to events, if there's a particular speaker that I'd like to, be in, some, be in touch with that particular person and make sure that I research them. Then when I approach them, I'll be like, oh, hey, congratulations on, the, recent thing that happened. Because then that's when they'll be like, oh, this person is actually, aware of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Then you'll be like, okay, I am this particular person and this is what I do. And um, yeah, do you offer some kind of mentorship or
Yeah.
support? So yeah,
Okay.
it
Okay.
should be organic,
Let
should
me.
be organic.
Okay. Let me just grab my jacket. Um.
Uh,
Now you appeared on SAPC News. What exactly were you talking about on there?
Yo, with the SAPC News, because I actually matriculated in the COVID era. It was when COVID hit us, actually, I was doing matric that time.
Yeah.
And obviously it was affecting us as matriculants. And I just got a call that, hey, Tshepiso, we've seen that you've been doing good work, but now we wanna, interview a learner, to be, to talk on behalf of all learners throughout the country,
Mhm.
in terms of, how do you feel about, COVID-19? How is it affecting you guys? So yeah, it was more on, I was representing all matriculants, um, to, to talk about our emotions, our frustrations. So it was more on, and also our readiness for exams. So yeah, I got a call. I don't know who referred them to me, but yeah, I got a call from them to, like they were also, requesting. Oh, you mean SABC? Oh, I'm talking about ENCA news actually.
Oh, but I
Oh,
mean,
I'm talking.
they're both on TV, right? So yeah.
Yeah. Also, with the SAPC, it was through this other program that I'm part of. It's called the Revenue Developments. So they are more on mentorship, and also they do tutoring. So I'm actually part of it. So yeah, they were actually, the SAPC came to the headquarters of Lebanon Revenue, and that's where they actually was interested in interviewing me. So yeah, I'm actually.
It's okay. I mean, you're famous like that. What's it like being on TV?
Yo, the hype, the hype is because now it feels like, the people that are around you now they're changing, um, they no longer, address you the same way they were addressing you, and
Is there
but
more respect now for you?
yeah, in a way,
Mhm.
yes. But I try always to make it, easier for them, because I've always been this public person who's I'm just crazy, around, the people that I know. So and I don't like to talk about, what I do when I'm around them, but also from perspective of someone who's maybe watching from social media, be like, oh, this seems like some serious kind of guy, and now people when they approach me, hey, say, this is, and I'm not that kind of person, you know. I'm just, a young man from Kokasi, I just, I'm just a simple human being, so, but, um, and it has been exciting, being out there, but it's more on, that always when someone reads about me, I wanted to make an impact. When they read about my story, it should be more on, something must change within that particular person, other than just, being famous and being all over there without, changing someone's life,
Yeah.
so it has always been about the impact, and that's what I like when people always, approach me and telling me, they saw me here and like, yo, man, and that actually encouraged me to start this. And,
Oh,
so yeah, that's the kind of feedback that I'm, always getting.
yeah. What, what are some, I know you just started and you're doing great, but what are some of the failures that you've experienced ever since you started your projects?
Yeah, like formulating a team has been something that's so like when I started the Tshepiso Malema initiative that I say I started as a blog, I was all alone. But right now we are like a team of like 12, and it's a team of young people who are skills are diverse. They're really doing the most out there, and I really appreciate my team. So, but at first, me having to formulate that, it has been one of the most challenges. And when it comes to also balancing the work, school, meetings, that has been, but now I'm used to it because that started in high school, and right now in varsity, and right now we are learning in a more hybrid way. So that's why I'm actually flexible. And one of the most challenges that I always highlight is also, as much as age has been something that I've been getting a lot of opportunities from. It has been something that also got some of the doors shut. Like, nah, man, you're still young. Like, go to school or go do something. Like, you don't know what this entrepreneurship is. I've been getting such comments, and that somehow they can either break you or make you. But I just decided to use that as a tool to make me. And everywhere I go, I just be like, I'm this 19-year-old, CEO of Gamers Territory, and this is what we do. And what I like is that our work really speaks for us. Our work really speaks for us. But yeah, in terms of challenges, as you mentioned that we just started, I can't say we actually faced some of the challenges that made us to even think of quitting. Obviously, entrepreneurship is not a really easy space to be in. Sometimes you just feel like, yo, let me just stop everything and move on with my life. But that passion, that passion, really keeps you going back. Oh man, right now it's no longer about me. It's now more on someone who's looking at me, because a lot of people are watching,
Yeah.
and really transforming many lives out there. So me quitting, that means I'm not doing I wouldn't be doing justice for people. So but yeah, and it actually has been a tough but exciting journey, and as it gets tough, also the opportunities, they are there, and yeah, it has been exciting. I don't want to lie.
Okay, so as we conclude, because I know we can talk for the longest time, I just want to ask you two things. Like, first of all, what would you say to your mom if she was like, pretend I'm your mom, like, what would you say to her? Considering is she a single parent?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
consider everything that she's done for you as far as you can remember. Like, what would you say to her?
Oh, yeah, that actually, Mama, you've been here for us. I've seen you struggle. I've seen you, we go to bed without eating, but us, as a kids, with our full stomachs, my mom has been this, because I lost my dad when I was 16. I was doing grade 9 that time. It was 2016 when I lost my dad. So, and yeah, so like from me losing my dad, as he was the only breadwinner at home, and now things started shifting from bad to worse. That's actually one thing that actually changed my mindset, because grade 8 and 9, I was this person I was just out of direction. Even at school I wasn't participating, I was failing. But after I actually lost my dad. That's where I had this self-introspection, what is it that I'm doing to make the situation better at home? What is it that I'm, because like my mom actually struggled a lot. She gotten herself into debts. Imagine as, a young kid, um, having to, experience things like seeing, some like loan sharks coming at home, threatening us, like I'll take this TV. Where's your mom? Hey, like, and as a yeah, like I used to go to bed, crying, and that's where I was like, you know what, this is what I don't want to see, and what is it that I'm making to make the situation better, and that's why I now started, making, moves. That's why I started making moves about my life, changing myself, and so that I can change the situation. So yeah, to my mom, you are my why. You are the reason why I'm actually doing all this. She actually always says that, "Ngwanaka, o tlo nkisa ko Sandton," which says that my son will take me to Sandton, to live in Sandton. So all this that I'm doing, you are the most reason, you're always at the back of my mind. Whenever I want to quit, I just think of you. So yeah, I really appreciate you, mom, and yeah.
I know.
Finish with that. I don't
I
want you
know
to
that got,
get
yeah,
emotional.
that got very emotional very quick. But I guess I wanted us to go through this journey because personally I did not have my mom from the time that I was 9. And I know because I've seen I'm at that age where I'm seeing mothers do the most, but then some kids don't appreciate. And I know that you do because you mentioned it at the beginning of the of the chats that we had. And I think it's important for people to, and I'm hoping that the people that, get to see this will think about their mothers at least for 2 minutes and think about the struggles that, mothers also face. What would you say to young people? What's the message for the young people?
Starting, makes you, 10 steps ahead. Because a lot of young people, they are stuck with ideas, they're stuck with, these ambitions. This is what I want to do, but without, taking that step to start. So, just start. A lot of people are stuck because of funding. I only started Gamer Structure with only a laptop and an idea, and that means whatever that, YouTube is here for the skill sets that you want. Podcasts are here, so we have no other reason not to do anything, and because my heart is for the people that are in the townships. I always say that, no matter where you come from, success doesn't need a visa.